catch Aberdeen. But I mean, I think for me, Celtic's going to be a difficult challenge. I think that on the pitch and off it right now, they are a way ahead of Rangers.
It's Rangers. It's all Rangers. It is full on Rangers. The Gels might no longer be simply the best, but Kris Boyd refuses to be simply depressed. He's not giving up on this season. He's looking at the positives, and we're going to dissect those positives right now and turn them into negatives. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Is the future bright for Rangers this season, or is it doom and gloom? Can Rangers still put on a title fight? Kris Boyd thinks it's going to be difficult, but he seems to believe that Rangers can still be pretty close to Celtic, and he seems to believe that they will 100% catch Aberdeen. Boyd doesn't even factor in that the Sheep could perhaps be the team that splits the Old Firm. He talks about Clermont, he talks about Tavernier, and he also talks about them needing to strengthen in January, where Clermont has came out and said there's money to spend and it will not revolve around selling players. So a lot of stuff to talk about here regarding Rangers.
Of course there is. There's been a lot of talk recently for John Gilligan, him and Dave King button heads. Kris Boyd's been laying under the radar. He's been laying low, but he's out for under his rock, crying into his pillow, whatever you want to,
Rangers rock,
whatever analogy you want to use. But let's first of all address that big Don's claim that they will catch them. Right, I think we're all expecting Rangers to catch Aberdeen, right? So there's no surprise that he's turned around and said this. I mean, is this the season someone could split the Old Firm, i.e. Aberdeen? Yeah, they've got 5 wins out of 5. They're in good form. They haven't lost a game all season. Dare I say this is the season they can do it?
Dare I say they haven't really faced a tough challenge yet, though?
I totally welcome that.
Look, despite you can say what you want about form of some of these clubs, but Aberdeen haven't played the Glasgow 2 and the Edinburgh 2 yet. Now, well, people will say, Hearts and Hibs are crap. Yeah, that may be true, but let's not
play the New Firm derby either, haven't they?
No. So, Aberdeen haven't played any of their big games yet, alright? It is what it is.
No, yeah, you're right. So, yeah, there are... I tell you what, see when Aberdeen play Celtic twice within close proximity with the league and the cup, that could make or break their season. Will Jimmy Thielen, will he be made of steel, or will he be made of paper mache? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I totally agree. I think they will catch Aberdeen, right? I mean, how bad's this season really going to get if Rangers don't catch Aberdeen?
Are you agreeing with Boyd that it's not even really a debate? Do you think that Rangers will just easily catch and pass Aberdeen, or do you think it's going to be tough? Do you think there's going to be a battle for second place that Rangers will just come out and top in, or do you think that Rangers are just going to overtake Aberdeen at some point and then not look back? What are you thinking?
I wouldn't be overly surprised if Rangers finish closer to Aberdeen than they do Celtic. Put it that way.
I can definitely see that.
But at the same, it could go. It depends on Aberdeen, right? Aberdeen could finish ahead of Rangers. They could finish close to Rangers, or they could finish fifth or something.
Well, Boyd doesn't seem to think Aberdeen will be a factor.
Yeah, but I think that's him just... I think that's the Sky Sports fucking narrative, man. I think that's them just going,
there's only 2 clubs in Scotland.
No, that's what it is. And here, I don't like Aberdeen, right? I'm not going to big them up, but see, at the end of the day, I think that's what it is. They see for Sky and Premier Sports and whoever, TNT, Dyna shite, see all that shit. They want the top 2 to be a direct. They don't want Aberdeen in the top 2. No, fucking course they don't.
I mean, they're not putting a video. They want to be, putting the focus on Aberdeen. They want to focus on Celtic Rangers. They want to focus on the Old Firm.
Yeah. No, that's it. They've got Chris Sutton, they've got Kris Boyd, who've got for Aberdeen. They're going to hire fucking Dolly, the Sheep.
Sir Alex back or something.
They could get Sir Alex back, but as for the Rangers, Celtic being labelled as difficult, it's not happening, so...
Yeah, no, well, I mean, Boyd didn't outright say they cannot catch Celtic, he just said it will be difficult. I mean, I think it was going to be very difficult at the start of the season, but for me, now looking at it, the gaps is bigger than I think it's bigger than everyone anticipated.
Rangers have forgot.
Even Celtic fans, right? I mean, I don't think they expected them to look this far ahead of Rangers.
No, they didn't. But
even though Rangers kind of fell apart last season and Celtic finished the season strong, if you look from like January through to March, it was the opposite. Rangers looked a better team and Celtic looked shaky. Now, Celtic finished the season better, finished it stronger, but I don't think the gap... I never thought the gap was this big.
No, it's been...
I thought Celtic were favourites for the title, and I predicted Celtic to win the league, but I mean, now I would go as far as saying the league's over.
But see, Rangers need to forget about Celtic and Aberdeen, right? As his next wee bullet point says, Clement needs wins despite backing. That's what Rangers need. They need wins. See this gap to Celtic, right? Let's be honest, man. See the league. Forget about the league. Not in the sense of it's over, right? You need to just put it to one side. There's no point being like, oh, we're 5 points behind them, we're 4 points behind them. You know what Clement and Rangers need to worry about? They need to put circle in the fucking calendar, 2nd of February 2025, because they can't win an Old Firm game. They can't. They just don't do it. And I'll tell you what, there'll probably be one before that, and it'll be the cup final. And see if they win that cup.
Assuming both teams get to the final.
I see if they get to the cup final, right, and the gap's still 5 points in the league, and you win the cup final, right, and you actually show something against Celtic.
Build momentum, show that you can win.
And you show that you can win.
A meaningful game.
Maybe the talk of a league title and the hint of a challenge can be, talked as a prospect. But see right now, this Rangers team can't beat Celtic, so how the fuck can I talk about a league title? It's
Would the cup final not be taking place on like the 16th of December?
Aye, some.
I'll be shocked if Rangers are still within 5 points of Celtic by then.
Well, that's my point, though. My point is, like, here, you got.
I wouldn't see by December. I wouldn't be surprised if it's double figures and Clement's gone.
Well, here I did say wouldn't see 2025. Anyway, yeah, as Boyd says, he needs wins despite the backing. Absolutely.
I mean, it's not even about the.
Although I'll actually sympathise with Clement here. Boyd did talk an awful lot about he's been backed with transfers. He's not been backed that much, man.
No, I mean, not in comparison to Celtic.
No, which is idiotic if we're going to compare the two, but at the end of the day, he's not been backed. It's not been a horrendous window where they've not brought in anyone, but let's be honest, man, we are left short in a lot of areas.
And in terms of first team players, who have they brought in? Proper Barami Tierney, is that it?
Connor Barron starts every game, like. Yefty starts every game.
Was Connor Barron expected to start every game, though?
I don't think he was.
Or was it more a case of, here, we'll bring in Connor Barron, he can be someone for the future? Because I remember at the time when they brought him in for Aberdeen, you weren't impressed.
I wasn't. I said he'll probably be a flop. He'll probably
and you were like, oh, it's not worth the money that we're having to pay compensation and all that stuff. But, I mean, when you look at it now...
Yeah, I'll hold my hands up.
Have Aberdeen got a right to be wanting compensation? By the way, how's that wee trial going?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
There's another trial in the spotlight at the minute.
See for me, man. See if you're a club and you can't get your player to re-sign and then he leaves, I think that's it. I think that's done. I don't honestly think Aberdeen should be entitled to money.
No.
End of the day, Barron's contract ran down and Rangers got him on a pre. Like, what's the point of Rangers signing him on a pre-contract for nothing if they're going to have to pay money in the long run anyway? That makes no sense to me.
No, you're very right with that.
If Aberdeen wanted money, then they should in January they should have been right here. You can have this guy now. I tell you what, would Connor Barron have made a difference to Rangers last year?
Well, when you look at it right now, yeah, but not the reality. The only reason Connor Barron has started so many games for Rangers, right? And I'm not doubting his ability. It's because we let go of like Lundstrom, Jack, right? The space get freed up. Raskin get injured, right? Kieran Doyle's pish, and Hadji doesn't get a game. I know different areas of the midfield, whatever, but I think the only reason Connor Barron has like glued himself into like a starting position is because of Rangers' lack of depth. You look at so many Rangers players this season like Proper and Bajrami. A lot of them have come in and not started straight away, which is exactly what we want. We want the new signings to start. I think the reason why Barron has done that is because he was signed early and because there was a lack of depth, and therefore he just fit it like a glove. So I'm not. See if he signed in January last year, I'm not convinced he starts a lot of games. I think he starts barely any.
Interesting.
So I don't think he would have made a difference. I don't think you talk about like Barron.
Lack of options.
Yes.
Lack of opportunities.
Yeah, I think he would have got fuck all. I don't think it's like, a lot of talk with Shankland last January. I mean, obviously Shankland, because I think he starts most games, or at least comes off the bench in them. Anyway, Tavernier, he defended him. Oh, it's not right. You lose one game up here and they're on you. Well, you know what?
But Tavernier's not lost one game. He's lost
about 1 million.
He's lost most of his games against Celtic, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Especially since Gerrard left.
Yeah.
So Tavernier, I mean, it's not just... He's the captain as well. He's the captain. He always seems to get done. Every time Rangers play Celtic, I mean, how many times do Celtic create chances down that Tavernier's right-hand side with Dice and Maida?
Exactly, man.
It's not like Tavernier's had one poor Old Firm game and Kris Boyd's defending him. I think Kris Boyd needs to accept that Tavernier's had a lot of poor Old Firm games.
There was a period until Ange's first Old Firm win that Rangers were 789 games undefeated against Celtic, right? And I tell you what, see if Tavernier left during that period, how much better would he be thought of, though?
Absolutely. And there's people in the comments saying Gerrard wasn't a good manager. Well, he smoked your team for 2 seasons, didn't he? So
No, 700... I get it, right? Rangers still don't play every week, even though some people think we do. 789 days. It's not like there was a billion games played within that span, but
that would have been at least 8 league games.
See that same gap? It's about the same now in terms of Rangers winning a meaningful Old Firm.
Absolutely.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then he left it with pretty much everywhere starting in January. But will he get backed in January? Will he even be here in January? He won't be.
Yes, now Clements came out and says that there will be funds available. Rangers don't need to sell.
Say he's here in January, right? Say he lasts to January. The Old Firm's in the 2nd of January.
He might last to January, but then get sacked on the 2nd or 3rd. So, I mean...
And then most of our transfer budget goes towards a new fucking manager. Brilliant.
But yeah, Boyd then talked about Hefty, said he's not convinced that there's a natural left back there. What's your thoughts on Hefty?
I think that's a load of pish. Well, it's not necessarily a load of pish. I don't think he has a natural left back, but I tell you what, he's been one of our better players this season. I really rate, yeah.
Is he better than Yilmaz?
Right now, yeah.
So if you could keep one,
I would keep Yefty because he stayed fit and hasn't got injured. Yilmaz is made of Weetabix.
Seems to be a lot of Rangers players made of Weetabix.
Man. Are we sponsored by Weetabix or something?
What's the area Rangers need to strengthen the most in January?
Left wing. Creative midfielder. Another striker.
All the above.
Right. It's all good me obviously a right back would be the first place I would strengthen, right? But the reality is Tav's going to start regardless. We could bring in fucking, Cafu or something, and James Tavernier's still going to start.
Well, if it's current day Cafu, then I don't really blame Clement.
Aye.
Now, if you've got a time machine, you're getting Cafu for like 20 years ago or something.
Current day Cafu, he'd fucking still do a job than James Tavernier.
It's like him against Maida. Imagine his legs trying to keep up.
Well, it wouldn't be fucking any worse, would it?
I think it would.
Alright, fair
Anyway, Boyd, he's trying to stay optimistic here, but it just looks like he's heartened, doesn't he? Every time you see Boyd, he's in pain.
I think for Rangers is right. There's a lot of Europa League games to build momentum and have some feel-good moments, and the Motherwell game out for a couple of months now. But see, at the end of the day, Rangers will have a period here where I think there won't be a lot of negativity. But see when that cup final comes around, and see when that first Old Firm game comes around, how negative is it going to get? And that's why you need to win those games, guys. But anyway, Kris Boyd has spoken. Till next time, we'll be back later on. Peace.